Bert Kreischer is an American stand-up comedian known for his very unique way of storytelling and analyzing situations that happen around him in his everyday life. He was the basis for the main character in the Van Wilder movie. The character played by Ryan Reynolds was created based on stories of Bert's escapades as a student at Florida State University in the mid-90s. Bert's arguably most popular story is one in which he tells of a student trip he went on to Russia where he met Russian gangsters. That story is the Machine story. In the story, he ended up robbing his fellow classmates with Russian gangsters whom he met on the train that his class was riding on. He hung out with these Russian gangsters all night and ended up earning the nickname The Machine. However, this video is about another story told by Kreischer where he met a comedian named Tracy Morgan and was tricked by Morgan into smoking PCP. Here he is telling his Tracy Morgan story on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast.
Here. So tell me what the fuck happened with Tracy Morgan.
Okay. So so then he goes, hey, you want to get high? And I was like, yeah. And because I'm a grown up. And so we walk around the corner and he pulls out this wreck of a joint, hands it to me, hits it, gives it to me. I hit it and it tastes like shit. It tastes like sweat socks. Like just like, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, oh, you never smoked Sherm before? And I was like, what? And he's like, Sherm, baby. Angel dust, PCP. You never smoked Sherm before? And I'm like, you just gave me fucking PCP? Like, how did you know? Who ever taught you how to get high? Like,
oh my God.
So I panicked bad. Shirt off, bottles of champagne covering his table. There's other tables that have champagne on it. He's buying it for them. I'll buy her a bottle of champagne right now. I got a pretty dick. Like, just Eddie Murphy gave me this. Whatever the fuck he's saying is like loud and boisterous. So I sit at the table and I think I'm on PCP and I start ordering Heinekens separately from this wreck of a bar tab he has. And so I'm getting Heinekens and then the whole night goes through. It's kind of an interesting, bizarre experience. But like 2:00 in the morning and Tracy and the waitress comes up and she's got the bill and she puts it in front of me because I'm at a table with all black dudes. So she thinks I'm their agent or lawyer or coach, whatever I am. So she gives me the bill and I see it and I'm like, oh, I can't. And Tracy Morgan flips out and he goes, oh, what the fuck is that? That's fucking racism. You give it to him, he works the goddamn door. He doesn't do, ain't no make any money. I'm the rich motherfucker in here. I'm on TV. I'm the rich motherfucker. And he flips the bottle of champagne table upside down. Now the woman's like, sir. And he goes, hey, and he takes his shirt and throws it in her face. A bouncer comes up and he's like, excuse me, sir. And Tracy just wham, lays the guy. And the biggest fight I've ever been in just breaks out all over. People are fighting, jumping on it. And I think I'm on PCP. So I walk out on Houston and I start going, this isn't happening. This is imaginary. This is not real. People are flooding out left and right. And they're like, dude, that shit's going off. Tracy's got like 4 dudes on him. And I was like, holy shit. A minute later, the doors kick open and Tracy Morgan is launched out of the club by the back of his neck and the seat of his pants, just up onto the street.
They put his shirt on him?
No, up on the street, shirtless, laying at my feet on the sidewalk. Doors close. Second later, doors kick back open, and Tracy's shirt comes out end over end and lands on his head, and it's silent. And we're looking at Tracy like, fuck, this is crazy. All of a sudden, he looks up, stands up, takes his shirt, snaps it, and he goes, now that's how you get out of paying a check.
This is the Ask Me Anything on Reddit that Tracy Morgan did, and this is him denying the whole story. Now, whether or not that story is actually true is up for debate, and we honestly probably will never know for a fact whether or not it is made up or is true. But one has to take into consideration the idea of what would Tracy have to lose if he were to admit this story were true. I mean, you got to think about all of the crazy stories he himself has told on stage and has told in interviews and the crazy things that he's admitted to doing in the past. I mean, of course, the story would, just be another crazy, funny thing that he did and would, fall in line with all of the crazy other things that he's done. But considering he outwardly denies it, and it really wouldn't change the public's opinion of Tracy. If it were true, then why would he deny it? So does Bert Kreischer have a history of telling stories that don't seem to be true? Well, why don't you decide?
Everyone will be like, who wants to go ride bikes? And he's like, who dares me to go in the woods and put a stick in my ass? Like that kind of kid.
Right.
Just crazy. One night he had the keys to this chick that lived in our neighborhood. He had the keys to her house because his parents were watching their house. And he's like, hey, you want to go in her house and get weird? And I was like, they're not here. He's like, I know, come on, I'll be fucking crazy. I go in there and I cut the pussies out of their underwear. And I was like, ugh. So my sister calls me like 6 months ago. She's like, you remember John? And I was like, yeah. She was like, he's in jail. I go, really? And she goes, yeah, he was working for Circuit City when they were going out of business, and he stole one of their trucks filled with a bunch of equipment. And I was like, really? And she goes, yeah. And they arrested him, and then they fingerprinted him and found out he had been killing chicks down by the causeway.
Wow.
I was like, if you fucking said serial killer to me, I would have been like, if I was the guy next door, I'd be like, I fucking knew it. I knew it.
Whoa.
I saw that coming.
Wow. Holy shit. How many girls did he kill?
I have no idea, but I was like, and I've looked for it online. I can't find it online.
Yeah. Thank you.
This is really fucking good.
Yeah, it is. You nailed it. Tampa's a crazy city, huh?
Growing up there, I knew 2 dudes without tongues.
What?
Tongueless Brett and oh.
No tongues.
2 of them. I saw 3 dudes get struck by lightning in my life.
They have sisters. You did?
Yep.
And what happens when you get struck by lightning?
You shit your pants, all your jewelry melts into you.
Wow. That's what happens when I kill.
It's like, oh.
I was in a band in college, and it was called Giving Out Spankins, and I was the front man, and it was me, John Dacre, Brent Bracken, and Ben Carter. And one of our fraternity brothers wanted to join in, and he was really good. Like, so good that you, like, immediately, you're in a band, you ever have someone so good, you're like, oh, he's going to realize how bad I am.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So I kicked him out. And he was like, I'm the best guy in the band. And I was like, yeah, and that's why we don't want you anymore, because me and the bassist won a band, and if you're here, you're going to realize you can get someone better. He's like, I'm going to start a band 10 times better than yours. I was like, good luck.
Go ahead.
He started a band called Creed.
Oh, no way, Mark?
Mark Tremonti, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
And by the way, if you ask him about it, he'll deny it. He goes, I don't know Bert Kreischer. By the way, in my fraternity, I gave him his nickname, and I think he still holds like a bone with it.
Dude, I was in Metallica once, but if you ask any of those dudes, they're going to deny it too.
I was the front man, and it was me, John Dacre, Brent Bracken, and Ben Carter. And one of our fraternity brothers wanted to join in, and he was really good. Like, so good that you, like, immediately, you're in a band, you ever have someone so good, you're like, oh, he's going to realize how bad I am.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So I kicked him out. And he was like, I'm the best guy in the band. And I was like, yeah, and that's why we don't want you anymore, because me and the bassist won a band, and if you're here, you're going to realize you can get someone better. He's like, I'm going to start a band 10 times better than yours. I was like, good luck.
Go ahead.
He started a band called Creed.
Oh, no way, Mark?
Mark Tremonti, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
And by the way, if you ask him about it, he'll deny it. He goes, I don't know Bert Kreischer.